Chicago wins 6-2 at Maple Leaf Gardens tonight, but the party is yet to come as we await the closing ceremonies. Let's go around the league now. Phoenix defeats Colorado 3-1, or 4-1, pardon me, this afternoon. Coyotes breathing down the neck of Dallas with 68 points now, 2 behind the Stars. Jeremy Roenick with his 19th for Phoenix. Florida without Pavel Bure, trailing Montreal 4-0. Saku Koivu with the pair for the Canadiens, who are absolutely desperate for victories now. Ottawa at home to the Caps. Washington had its win streak snapped tonight, or looks like it will. Yashin with his 24th. Ottawa could go 3 points up on Toronto in the Northeast. It's 2-1 in the third period there. San Jose at Tampa Bay. Mike Vernon versus Bill Ranford. It's 2-1 San Jose in the third. Owen Nolan has 11. Just Murray Craven second. Islanders, after a tough loss to Nashville last night, trailing Buffalo 2-1. It's Salo in goal for the Islanders. Hasek for the Buffalo Sabres. Carolina at New Jersey, and they're tied at 2. What's wrong with the Devils? They lost to Washington last night. Now they're desperate for a victory against the Carolina Hurricanes. Edmonton at St. Louis. It's the Oilers leading 1-0 on Bill Guerin's 23rd of the year. Pittsburgh at Nashville. Erdina and Kovalev for the Penguins, who lead 2-0 in the first. Dallas at Los Angeles later tonight. And don't forget, the second game of our Hockey Night in Canada doubleheader takes us to GM Place in Vancouver for the Boston Bruins against the Vancouver Canucks. Stay with us. The closing ceremonies from Maple Leaf Gardens still to come on Hockey Night in Canada.
Canadians, huh?
Yeah. We're just over for the night.
Really? So are they.
Guys, you know.
Gentlemen, hey, come on in.
How are you? Hey, guys, great game.
Yeah.
But hey, we're hockey players too, huh?
There's going to be other spots in this town.
Bye.
Can't believe that guy.
Where to, fellas?
You don't go to Canada, do you?
Sure do.
They laughed at me, wanting you. Said it would be hello, goodbye. But oh, you came through. Now they're eating humble pie. Oh, they all said we'd never get together. Darling, let's take a bow.
A whole lot can happen out of the blue.
Who's got the last laugh now?
The bat blue.
The Leafs lose 6-2 to Chicago at Maple Leaf Gardens tonight. These are live pictures you see as we await the closing ceremony, so there's still a great atmosphere here. As soon as the closing ceremonies are complete here at Maple Leaf Gardens, we're heading west to GM Place in Vancouver for the Bruins and the Canucks, and there's Scott Russell with Kelly Hrudy to set up the game for us. Scott.
Thanks very much, Scott. I hope you're having a great night there at Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto. Yes, the Bruins and Canucks are coming up here at GM Place, but keeping in the theme of tonight's festivities, Kelly, you had a great series there. In 1993, the conference final against the Leafs with the Los Angeles Kings. That was huge for you, I know.
Obviously the biggest highlight of my career. There's not many opportunities you get to go into a historic building like Maple Leaf Gardens, play a 7th game, going to the Stanley Cup Finals. These are saves right here that I'll always remember, and even though this is quite a few years ago now, just the opportunity to play against players like Doug Gilmour in a building like that, and I can remember the celebration we had in the locker room, and we went over to Wayne Gretzky's restaurant after, and it was just the togetherness that we had. It's a really, really special moment. You can see the camaraderie we had. Rob Stauber and I hugging. I saw Rob recently. Really wonderful to relive those memories.
Big 5-4 victory in Game 7 against the Leafs. You went on to play the Canadiens for the Stanley Cup. You know, you grew up in Edmonton and you watched Maple Leaf Gardens from the West as a kid. Was it always the biggest place for you? And when you got to the NHL, the biggest place to go and play?
Yes, it was the most exciting thing. The thing I remember most about my youth is that we always used to come inside, watch Saturday night, Hockey Night in Canada, go outside after the game, play street hockey, pretend you were the stars that you just watch on TV. It was just incredible to play in there my first time.
All right, so now you're all grown up and we're at GM Place in Vancouver. It's the Bruins and the Canucks in a big game for both teams because they're hunting for playoff spots.
They're both desperate, and that's what I love about this time of year is that both teams really need the points, so they're going to do everything in their power. A lot of injuries, but that doesn't mean that it's going to be a poor game. they're going to ask a lot of the other players.
All right, Kelly, the hockey's not done yet. Bruins and Canucks still to come. But first, the ceremonies at Maple Leaf Gardens, which we're looking forward to. Scott?
Scott, you're right. Great memories for Maple Leaf Gardens abound, and we'll share many of them with you when we have the closing ceremonies coming up from Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto.